Despite calls to stay home and stop the spread, a large crowd gathers for New Year's Eve at Nathan Phillips Square. Tonight, concerns over COVID non-compliance and rising case counts. Good evening. The city had canceled its annual party, live streaming a CN Tower light show instead.
It comes as we approach the end of the first week of a 28-day lockdown. CTV Scott Lightfoot joins us live from Nathan Phillips Square with the story. Scott.
Well, Zorana, there was nothing going on down here last night. No concert, no countdown, no fireworks. But still, it didn't stop large crowds from gathering, despite the fact public health officials have been asking people not to for going on 10 months now. Some doctors say the bigger concern may be the gatherings you didn't see, the private parties held in people's homes.
I think we really hope that for the coming years, we never get to see such a year like 2020.
A year unlike any other ended in Toronto with none of the traditional public events and pleas from public officials.
Thank you for staying home. Thank you for staying home tonight, and thank you for staying home before tonight, and thank you for staying home after tonight, because that's the best way we're all going to stay healthy.
But despite the mayor's pre-recorded New Year's message, hundreds of people turned out last night to ring in the new year in Nathan Phillips Square. Toronto police on hand, but say their actions dealt mainly with assisting those who'd over-celebrated.
Due to the fact it was large gatherings, it's sometimes better for officers to be there to show support and to assist when needed than to go in and try to de-escalate a situation.
In fact, police say no charges were laid or tickets issued for anything related to group gatherings here or at private parties across the city.
Toronto Police received several calls for large gatherings at condos or houses. Officers attend, were able to talk with the homeowners, and those parties quickly dispersed.
Group gathering scenes may be concerning to those who try to heed public health advice not to gather, but some health officials worry more about the gatherings that weren't visible last night.
I'm worried that people in their individual homes, in individual situations, had a very similar approach in some jurisdictions, and I think that that's going to be a challenge. We're going to see more cases.
With current COVID case numbers still predating Christmas infections, officials worry that family and group gatherings around the 25th may have made New Year's parties exponentially more dangerous.
And unfortunately, with New Year's being just about a week away, you're at your most infectious at that point. So you can get almost this, for lack of a better phrase, double whammy. And I do think January, unfortunately, is going to be a bit of a bumpy ride for us in healthcare.
And police in Peel say they had no major events, no charges or arrests made in connection with group gatherings last night either. Of course, infections gained over Christmas break and New Year's won't show up in COVID numbers for coming days and weeks. Reporting live outside City Hall, I'm Scott Lightfoot. Raheem, back to you.
Ontario ended 2020 with a record number of new COVID-19 cases, more than 3,300 reported last night. The province didn't release new COVID-19 case numbers today because of the New Year's Day holiday, but after coming under fire for suspending vaccinations during Christmas, the rollout of the Pfizer and Moderna vaccines continued today. According to the Ministry of Health, 32,904 vaccines have now been administered in Ontario. That's as of 5 p.m. tonight, and an increase of more than 8,500 from yesterday.
Many receiving a dose say they are also being injected with a shot of optimism as we head into a new year. CTV's Beth McDonnell is live at Humber River Hospital with that story. Beth.
I don't think many of us expected getting a vaccine on New Year's Day would be something special. Today, the hospital says 260 people got their COVID-19 shot, something to celebrate. It was a joyous first day of 2021 at Humber River Hospital as personal support workers and housekeepers working with seniors arrived at a clinic to be inoculated against COVID-19. The brutal disease has claimed more than 4,500 lives in Ontario.
I just want to finish this COVID. I just want to start 2021 with the better.
Unlike on Christmas Day and Boxing Day, when the province's vaccination program was criticized for being paused, receiving the shot on New Year's Day provided an extra reason to celebrate.
It's incredible. It's like a gift. It's to start 2021 with this and hopefully have an end to all of this. It's amazing because we've been through a lot.
The chief medical officer at University Health Network tweeted these photos as residents at Bendale Acres long-term care home in Scarborough were also vaccinated this holiday. Right now in phase 1, 140,000 doses of the Pfizer, BioNTech, and Moderna vaccines are rolling out to workers, caregivers, and people living in facilities for retirees and elderly, along with frontline hospital staff. Some doctors on a standby list were given 24 hours notice they could get the jab.
I think there's a lot of fear that's being generated about this vaccine, and I don't think it's correct. I think it's scaring the general population. I think it's gone through extensive testing. I have a lot of faith in the science.
Well, safety for me and safety for my patients, and I think it's going to be a great benefit to us all.
I just want to say I'm happy to get the injection and privileged.
In phase 2, when more vaccine becomes available, people in other congregate settings like shelters and people over 70 will become eligible. Humber River's clinic co-lead says one reason it opened on New Year's Day was to increase access to the vaccine.
Lots of excitement, lots of sentiments around, this is the beginning of the end for the pandemic. So lots of excitement from the people we're vaccinating, lots of excitement from the team who's putting this all together as well.
The hospital is located in a community with a high incidence of COVID-19. After receiving the vaccine, the clinic says people who got the shot will receive a piece of paper and saying that they received the vaccine and when to come back for their second dose. Reporting live, I'm Beth McDonnell.
Thank you, Beth. And you can follow Ontario's vaccination effort along with those in other provinces on our website. Our COVID-19 vaccine tracker is at ctvnewstoronto.ca.